First question from Greg Hunter. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay, I just asked this to Coach Brown. So your first name, you go mainly by AJ, first of all, and then why West Virginia when you ultimately got a chance to jump to the Mountaineers?
Well, I grew up a huge Big East fan, and I know now we're in the Big 12, but watching Coach Huggins and those guys run through Madison Square Garden playing basketball was one of the reasons why I was kind of connected to the program as a kid. Now, having worked with Blake Seiler, Old Dominion last season, and getting a chance to hear about the great things inside this program, being at Mississippi State at the same time when Coach Brown was down at Troy, kind of seeing the success of that program, as well as being on the field with these guys in 2019 when I was at James Madison. I feel like this was a place that was on the rise, on the up and up.
All righty. Next question from Keenan Cummings. Go ahead, Keenan.
Hey, AJ, welcome to West Virginia. Was curious, what areas do you plan to recruit? And tell me a little bit about your style as a recruiter. Where'd you cut your chops and kind of how you came up?
I'll be recruiting DC South 95 corridor through Richmond, and then Central Jersey all the way to North to New York City and top Northeast corner of Pennsylvania. I've kind of recruited those areas my whole career, but I'm a relationships guy. I believe that, you kind of got to connect with the high school coaches, connect with the kids and their 7-on-7 coaches to kind of build your rapport through those guys. Kids have to believe that you can make them a better man and a better player. So it's all about relationships for me.
All righty. Next question from Greg Hunter. Go ahead, Coach Hunter.
So have you looked at your unit yet? You lost obviously a really good player, West Virginia did at Noseguard, but what do you think of what's coming back?
We're really deep, really talented unit. I think we, top to bottom, could be one of the best in the country. We continue to work hard and develop.
All righty. Next question from Cody Nesper. Go ahead, Cody.
Hey, Coach. I'm just wondering, obviously, Jordan Leslie has coached the D-line the last 2 years. Just how much of you and him kind of collaborated on what the plan's going to be? And then I know he had a lot of, stunts and twists and things that they used that was a little unusual. And just, do you plan on maintaining that?
We're going to do whatever makes us the most successful. That the plan is to move around a lot again. That'll be the plan. But we've collaborated a lot, even just, immediately through the interview process and just talking football and kind of getting on the same page. So we've been able to spend a lot of time together.
Go ahead, John Antoni.
Coach, just give me your thoughts. I don't know how much you've studied the guys, but Mesidor, what's your thoughts of him and also to Dante Stills?
Akeem is a great talent. The sky's the limit for that kid. I think he could be a blue chipper, have his names on all the walls up here and set records and do really well for himself at the next level. He's an extremely driven kid. It's been a pleasure to get a chance to get to know him. I think he's going to be a special kid.
And your thoughts on Dante?
Dante, the same. It's going to be putting the finishing touches on his college career, which he's getting excited, getting prepared to do. For him, it's just making sure he just repeats the same year and gets a little bit better.
Thanks.
Next question here comes from Mike Pazazza. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Andrew, how's it going? I'm sorry, Andrew or AJ? My bad.
AJ's fine.
AJ, okay. Well, hey, good to meet you. I have a question for you. It's kind of a history lesson, but for years and years here, there was this weird odd stack defense that kind of basically conceded that it was going to be difficult to recruit, heavy, strong defensive linemen, in particular tackles and nose guards for the middle. Those are rare commodities, obviously. Jordan doesn't believe that at all, and I think if you look at some of the talent, that's probably changed on hand right now too. As a coach, I know geography is important, but how important is that? And then how important that your position is immediate impact, but also guys who can, at some point later, probably than sooner, grow and contribute on the defensive line.
With our scheme and with the kind of guys we recruit, it's more about athleticism and it's more so being big. I also think we're a developmental program, so putting guys in positions to be successful, maybe not the biggest guy yet off the bat as a freshman or the strongest yet, but we'll just find ways to use those guys, use their talents to the best of our ability. But I mean, it's tough to get those big guys anywhere in the country, from my time in the SEC and the Big Ten to even in the FCS ball. But, you know, the development is key in that position anyway.
Next question from Keenan. Go ahead, Keenan.
I'm not sure how much time you've had to really assess your personnel yet, but obviously Darius Stills is gone. What do you have at nose guard there, and kind of what do you think going into the spring about that position?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes through spring, kind of get a full wholesale evaluation. I want to come in and give all the guys there a clean slate, even if it's Dante or Akeem, and just kind of see what they do without me putting pressure on them or making any type of depth chart on pencil or anything like that. I'll let the guys do the talking with their pads and make decisions going into the season.
All righty. Next question from Kevin Kinder. Go ahead, Kevin.
In those spring practices, do you come in and just run through some of the drills that have been here in the past? Do you have some of your own that you like to see that you feel like gives you, good evaluation of your players? How does that mix work?
I think good coaches wind up stealing and borrowing stuff from guys. So some of the things that I believe in and that Coach Leslie believes in and fitting the scheme it'll kind of mesh together. I have my beliefs, he has his, but whatever's the best for success is kind of what I'll implement, and I'll be able to work through it no matter what drill I use.
We have a few more here. Go ahead, Cody Nesper.
Coach, I was just wondering if you could take us through your history, just in terms of what schemes you've run.
For the most part, I've been a 4-down, 4-2-5 guy all the way through. I've been with blitz heavy guys. I've been with guys that didn't like the pressure and play coverage. Been on teams that like to move a lot. So I've kind of, in my coaching career, been working for a lot of guys that run the 4-2-5 multiple ways, kind of like we do here. So I've kind of had a sprinkle of what we do here at multiple places. So it's all been about the same through my career.
All right, we'll take a question from John. Go ahead, John.
I'm curious, I wanted to go back to the Big East and hugs and all of that, the Big East tournament. Who was your team? What do you remember about those hugs teams, and when was it?
Let's see. So the last time was the Big East tournament was the last one. But the overtime game, the multiple game of Georgetown and Syracuse sticks out the most. But Kevin Snoggle was like the guy that I wanted to watch, because he was that down low guy, had all the tattoos, and tattoos weren't huge then. So seeing a guy with that kind of arm sleeve and really not take any crap from anybody under the bucket. And I think that team right there with Pitt Snoggle was like the last team that was allowed to be overly physical without having just more than a common foul called on him. So I think that team, his last year, I can't remember dates exactly, but was kind of like the West Virginia team that sticks out the most in my mind.
Well, who was your Big East team? Who was your team you were?
I was a St. John's fan through and through.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm a New York City guy, so St. John's was like my team. When I was growing up, they weren't very good, but that was my squad.
Yeah, that's because Fran Fischel was coaching them. Thanks.
Question from Keenan Cummings. Go ahead, Keenan.
You mentioned Coach Seiler. What all did he tell you about this place, and any stories or things that made the job even more attractive to you?
Coach Seiler basically told me that this was coaching staff-wise and staff-wise, this was a huge family environment, a place he loved to have his wife and his kids around. I have a fiance. I'm getting married hopefully next summer, so due to this pandemic kind of stuff. But he told me, that's a great place to bring your kids, bring your family, and Coach Brown did a good job of making everybody's family feel welcome and taking care of coaching staff and things like that. And then, actually one of the things that kind of actually wanted to really be a part of the program, I got a story from Coach Bill Legg, was how, the bowl season was kind of screwed up again this year. And Coach Brown had made sure there were some events for the players and families to make it seem like a real bowl experience and kind of get the guys together and do some things. And having not been able to play the season at all, it was kind of good to see that, Coach thought about the players first.
Next question from Cody Nesper.
Just wondering, what made you get into coaching, in the first place?
I wanted to be a school teacher, actually, and kind of when I finished college around 2011, 2012, it was hard to get a job out on Long Island. It was kind of like economic downturn. Folks weren't retiring, things like that. And my college coach, Brian Collins at Long Island Post, who's on the schedule, gave me a chance to come back and be a GA and get my master's, maybe counseling or special ed or something to kind of make myself more marketable as a teacher. And I got out there and practiced that first fall, and I have been coaching since.
And we will take one more here from Kevin Kinder. Go ahead, Kevin.
You're on mute, I think.
Do that again. There we go. You mentioned LIU, and I think over the last year or two, they merged two of the athletic programs, but still coming from that and playing them right off the bat in your first job here, is that a little strange?
Definitely strange. You know, when I played there, they were Division II, so I never thought, you know, my whole time there and even seeing a program in the future that we'd be on the field with a Big 12 team. So it's it definitely is strange to not only play against your alma mater, but to play against a school and the guys, head coach that gave you your opportunity to play college football. It'll be stressful, but definitely exciting at the same time.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Doesn't look like it. Appreciate it, AJ.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.